So tonight we're going to talk about the suffering as explained by Krishna. Gita is a very exhaustive book and it covers so many angles of life that each and every angle you can find a reason for it and a solution for it. So the first that I would like to point out is the suffering that Krishna describes as suffering. Suffering is something you would not know if it is a suffering because you don't know what life can be without that suffering. So it's like being born in a prison and you never have been outside the prison. So staying inside the prison, you may be spending your whole life, celebrate birthdays, wedding processions, everything happening within the prison, except someone comes along who has been outside the prison and comes and tells you that no, this is a prison, there is another life that's possible. Otherwise, the prison life goes on. Each one has their own cell, they decorate, they meet each other, and the whole life passes. This is our situation. A lot of times we are suffering, but we don't even know we are suffering until someone comes in and tells us that this is a suffering. That's when suddenly we realize that maybe we have to do something about it. So the suffering is the illusion of the life as it is. So the life that presents to us, it really makes us go after these objects that we like, objects, people, situations that we like, and we keep running. And we never really come to a final stop because we keep running. Till the life ends, we keep on running. So this running is justified by setting up some objective. Otherwise, the running would be meaningless. So we always select an objective why you are running. So these objectives we select, of course, we select because it is intended to give us a pleasure. And that's obvious reason for someone to keep running. But the question is it the right way? Is it the right path? Is it the right approach to the life? So if we really analyze the connections with these objects of pleasure, what happens after we connect, that Krishna has described beautifully in the second chapter, 62, 63. So this illusion that is created, and yes, all the saints have been telling that sansar is an illusion, it's not real, but we don't believe them because we believe in sansar so much. If you really look at it scientifically even, the outside physical world actually gets reflected onto your retina through the pupil of the eye. And all we get is a reflection. We're really not getting the whole real deal. It's only a reflection. And even that is inverted. So the brain has to re-invert it to make it look upright. Otherwise, we all will be looking at the sansar in an upside down fashion. So this is a scientifically explanation. But even spiritually, people who have really studied the deeper depths of our psyche, they say that outside world is perceived by your five senses, which we all know: eyes, ears, nose, touch, taste, smell. And then these sense organs bring the experiences into your inside. And inside there is another organ, the mental organ, that is really set up with four different components. The components are ego, means who you are, your identification, you as a body with your name, your connections, your relatives, your parents, your friends, siblings, your cars, everything. It's all centered around the ego, that you believe that this is what you are. So the ego is the main thing. And then you have intellect, you have something to discriminate what is right, what is wrong, and all that. And then you have mind, which actually takes a final action. It takes a final decision that this is what I want to do. And then all of the, beyond all this is a chit. Chit is like a hard drive. It stores all the memories of all the experiences from outside. So all this images that come from outside, these are not just simple images that get photographed onto a camera or something like that. It's very in-depth. So it is the most precise and most amazing camera that has been set up in our mind, which is our Manomay Kosh. So Manomay Kosh takes a exact copy of whatever we see, whether we touch, whether we smell, whether we taste. All these things are stored not just in the memory, but in a very comprehensive, multi-dimensional way. It gets stored because it is the given rise by the consciousness. This is not just like a camera made by Nikon or something like that. This is really a superlative type of quality of camera, basically. So Manomay Kosh includes the ego, and then man, which is manas, which takes the actions. And of course, then also it includes the chitta, which stores all the memories. So all these three combined is up to the level of Manomay Kosh. Only the intellect falls outside of that. So when we store all these images of the sansar, it comes within us. These are all images. Keep it in mind. These are not the real things. $1 million in the bank is not $1 million in your mind. It's only as a thought. It's only as an image that you have $1 million. That's it. So we play around with these images and like a dream, like we go to sleep at night and we dream. So we play around with these images that we create within our own psyche. And then it's almost like a dream keeps on going as long as we want it. But the problem is, this is not a reality. The sansar is reflected on our psyche only as an image, a very in-depth holographic type of image, very sophisticated. So it makes us look like it's real. We think it's real. Just like Ram, when he was a kid, he wanted to have the moon. And Kaushalya brings, being a smart mother, brings a thali full of water, and it shows the reflection of the moon to Ram, and Ram gets happy. Ram was a child. He was childish. He was not smart enough to understand, so he kept on playing around with that. And that's exactly what we're doing. We are doing exactly what Ram as a kid was doing. We playing around with sansar, it never becomes ours. It's like a dream. So the whole sansar is presenting to us as a dream. And the dreams always come to an end at some point, or they get replaced by other dreams. So dreams keep on going. But if the dreams don't end, supposing by the end of your life, the dreamer ends, we end. So either way, the connection between dreamer and the dream are not solid connections. They are not on a very poor foundations. So this is very flimsy way of really working in this sansar and thinking that we are really doing something. We are really achieving something. But that is not the case. The dreamers either die or the dreams end, but sometimes both can end. Dreams can end and dreamer can end, and that can happen only when he can wake up. So it's like somebody is looking at the dream and he really gets up, and as a kid, like a kid, he gets up and he really gets attached to that dream and he wants that dream again. We laugh at him, right? Because we all are awake and he's still talking about the dreams. But when it comes to Buddha and Krishna and Mahavir and Jesus, they are the woken up people. And for them, we are still living in the dreams. So sansar is nothing but a dream, because sansar is created by the time and space. And time and space are finite. So anything that you can measure in time will end. And anything that you can measure in space, meaning height, width, depth, measurements, it also will perish. So the whole sansar is perishable, and yet we want to have a permanent home in this sansar. And that is the illusion. That is the dream these great saints are telling us to wake up from. So the only way dreams can end is by waking up. We have to wake up, otherwise the dreams will continue and will remain a dreamer till we die. Our desires towards the sansar will make us get another body, and then another body, and then life and death cycles will keep on going. So there is another dimensional. There is a totally another spiritual dimension that we can go to. For that, the help is of the intellect, because intellect is not manomai-kosh, it's vijnanamai-kosh. It's a one step above. This is the ability to discriminate right from wrong. So if we can at least understand the sansar is only an illusion, then we have a chance of waking up. So Krishna makes us realize how we get trapped into this sansar, because we come with desires ready to act upon, right? So in this sloks in second chapter, he says, Dhyato Vishayam Punsa. Punsa is man. Dhyato means dhyan. He pays a little bit of attention to that object of pleasure. Dhyato Vishayam Punsa Sangateshu Upajayate. Sangat means now he wants to play with it. Like if you're driving on Parkway and there is an advertisement for Häagen-Dazs, and you suddenly you look at it and you don't pay anything attention, you keep on driving. But your next passenger, he looked at it and he happened to like it. So what is going to be the different? There will be different actions between two of you. One, you didn't even hardly pay attention to it, went home, did other things. But the other guy, he really looked at it carefully, and now he has a desire starting within him to consume Häagen-Dazs. So dhyato vishyam, vishya is a very beautiful word selected by the Sanskrit. In vishya means the vish is poison, but they call that objects of pleasure are like poison. They trap you, they drag you down, and you don't even know. The poison can taste good, but it's ultimately going to kill you. So this is how your desire takes you into these objects of pleasure in the world. Now, mind well, objects are not just physical objects. Anything that is produced in sansar can become an object. Whether you want to become a president, presidentship is an object, or you want to become very famous, you want to become the best hero in the Bollywood. And so all these are objects that we set up and we think we're going to meet. So say, dhyato vishayam punsa sangateshu upajayase. Now we're really getting into it. Now that object of pleasure, we need to have it. So dhyato vishayam punsa sangateshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kam. Kam is intense desire. First it was only a little contact, but now it's a calm. Now intense desire is generated. So calm, dhyato vishayam punsa sangateshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodh abhijayate. So calm, intense desire leads to krodh, anger. Why? Because there is a chance that you may dream of something really big, like becoming the best hero in Bollywood or becoming the president of United States. And you may not, your goals may be too high and it falls short, then you get angry. So kamat krodh abhijayate. Or you may put up a goal of something simple, like Häagen-Dazs. You can, it's very affordable. But then when you go to the doctor's office and your cholesterol goes up and your sugar goes up, and now he tells you to quit and you cannot quit. And then also it leads to krodh. So kamat krodh abhijayate, krodh bhavati sammoha. But when you're angry, all you can see is this object of pleasure. Now you're continuously thinking about it. Kamat krodh abhijayate, krodh bhavati sammoha, sammoha smruti vibram. Smruti means you forget who are your well-wishers, whether it's your spouse or your children, your doctor, your friends. They keep on telling you, give it up, give it up. You're not listening. Because kamat krodh vajayate, krodh bhavati sammoha. Now you're sammoha. Like a dancing cobra, you're dancing to the tune of this object. And what happens after this? Kamat krodh abhijayate, krodh bhavati sammoha, sammoha smruti vibram. You forget who are your well-wishers. Smruti branshad buddhinasha. So this is where your buddhi, the intellect, gets destroyed. You lose your ability to select right from wrong. And that power of discrimination, which was already given to us at the Vijnanamaya Kosh, we do not use it anymore. All the chakras, all the koshas below the Vijnanamaya Kosh are useful only in the sansar. Vijnanamaya Kosh, which includes the intellect and intuition, is the only gateway you can utilize to get out of it, but it's gone. And then what happens? Buddhi nasha pranashyati. Once buddhi goes, your man meets the end. He's suffering. He comes to a total destruction. But while he's being destroyed, even then, he considered a good life because he enjoyed whatever he came in for. So Krishna called this murta. This is ignorance. And there is a better life possible. So this slok, you keep it in mind. As we do Tummo meditation, you analyze your whole life, what we have done so far. Every single step that you were born, then you were competed, then you went further, and you then interacted with all your objects and pleasure. What happened to you? And I will intervene time to time to remind you where the objects kind of carried you. So we're gonna do the Tummo again, as you know, Vajrasan, and the first finger and the thumb. And as we know, we're gonna take a deep breath, we're gonna hold it, and we bring our head down for a chin lock. And then we're gonna lift the rectal muscles up and the whole body contraction. And we're gonna imagine a small fire starting on each and every chakra. So we'll start with Muladhara. Take a deep breath. Hold it, push it down. Release it slowly, lift your head up and watch the energy flow. The fire is burning at Muladhara. Take a deep breath. And relax. Watch the blood flow. Stay aware all the time. Keep focusing on the chakras. Take a deep breath. So Muladhara is where you establish your connection with the earth, the sun, the wind, the air. All these are here to feed you, make you bigger, grow in your life. And all children look innocent, but don't think so. They are carrying with them seeds of vrittis and vasanas. Vasanas are hidden desires, and vrittis are tendencies, which way you would go when you grow up. And now you're growing up. You're going to Swadhisthana, 4 fingers below the navel. Take a deep breath. So as you're getting bigger and you're expanding your vrittis and vasanas, your desires are showing up and you're trying to expand into the sansar. Not everyone goes for the same objectives because everyone came with different objectives. Everyone's path is different. Children born in the same house will still have a very different lifestyle. Take a deep breath. And relax. Fire is rising to Swadhisthana. Stay steady. Stay focused on Swadhisthana. You are expanding using the time and resources. All the resources available are material and the time that you're going to require. So again, you realize this is an interplay of time and space. Time is also limited and space is also limited. Even though we think they're unlimited, there was a time that universe exploded, Big Bang. As soon as the matter was created, time and space was created. So time and space are creations, and they gonna get destroyed also. So we don't know that, but science has proven it. Time and space comes to an end when it reaches the black hole. All the time and space, the events, they call it event horizon. But we don't know that. We are still illusioned by our desires and the objects of pleasure. So we do not have a time to think of anything else. Take a deep breath. So our race continues in life as we're getting bigger, where our likes and dislikes are deciding what we like, who we like, what situation we like. We go after different objects of pleasure. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. But our ego does not let us suffer, does not let us fall down and not get up. No matter how many battles you might have fought to get the attention of certain girl, doesn't get it, then you say, keep trying. Maybe there is a problem with her. You try somebody else. Same thing with the boys. Same thing with the money. You keep on playing the stock market, keep making money. Ego always keeps you going. Ego is the illusion that takes you into this time and space. That is the illusion, which we don't know yet. To us, it's all real. Take a deep breath. And relax. Feel the energy, feel the vibration. Eyes closed. Keep your attention, keep your awareness on the chakra. We go higher to Manipur, in between the rib cage. Take a deep breath. At Manipur level, we generate energy, energy that is required to perform our race to obtain the objects of pleasure. The assimilation of the food, prana, everything takes place. This is represents the fire within us. Take a deep breath. Relax. Deep breath again. Chakras keep on changing, various stages of life keep on changing, but your awareness for each and every chakra is the same. Same homogeneous awareness. You cannot distinguish between the awareness of one chakra to the other. Chakras keep on changing, stages of the life keep on changing, objects keep on changing, because these are all part of time and space complex, destined to die, destined to end, just like a dream. If the dream doesn't end, dreamer ends, one or the other, one way or the other. Connection gets lost. But the dreamer doesn't die. He wants another dream and another dream. It's an addiction. Take a deep breath. Relax. Fire has risen to the Manipur. We're going to go to the next Anahat at the heart center. This is where you set up your feelings, connections, love, affection to all the objects that you have acquired. whether it's your parents or your spouse, your children, your objects of desire, your car, your expanded estates, whatever position you have in the society, you love it, you encourage it, you cherish it, and get attached to it. And you spend your whole life with all these things without even realizing what else is out there. Take a deep breath. And relax. Fire is up to the heart center. Body is burning. Heat is generated. Lots of energy. Stay focused on Anahat. Take a deep breath. So at this point, you are totally caught up in the web of sansar, Maya Jaha. Maya means something that is not there, but to you, it looks like that. All the objects of pleasure looked so delicious, so beautiful in the beginning, but they start losing their touch. Same girl that you married 5 years later is not the same. You still have stored that image of that girl that appealed to you. Now you're comparing the present image with that image, and there is discrepancy. Dissatisfaction starts. Same money that you were running after, first $1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000, and then you reached $1 million. Now $1 million does not look good anymore. You want multi-million dollars. So this never ends, but we keep on storing these images that you're gonna reach to some nirvana at some point, but we never do. And this is what Krishna calls a vicious cycle of yogakshema, which are very two beautiful words that he has used in Gita. Yoga and kshema. Don't think yoga means all good. Yoga means can be a bad connection also. Yoga means to yuj. Yuj means to connect. It comes from the Sanskrit word yuj, means to connect. So it depends upon your connection. It is a connection. So that is yoga. And yoga can be good or bad. If you any yoga that takes you into this time-space complex, the material world, something that is destined to die, destined to come to an end, that is a bad connection. And that's gonna lead to kshema. Only the yoga that you connect with the higher self, the consciousness, which is immortal, which is always all pervading. And that's the true yoga. But we don't know that. Our illusion keeps on playing the games on us. So we keep on connecting to all these objects, people, situations, which are mortal. And what's going to happen? The joy that's come out of it, the pleasure that comes out of it is also mortal. It lasts very short time. And then it gets replaced by another pleasure that you want. Keeps on going. And this is what Krishna calls yoga kshema. The yoga means to connect, and then kshema is the other half that is required because of that connection. You work hard, you go to school, you compete, and you finally pass your exams. For what? So that you can make money. All your life you train to make money. Now you connect with the money, and then what happens? Now you have to worry if somebody will take it away or not. You have to put it in a locker. You have to invest it somewhere where somebody else will not destroy that investment. All those fall under the category of kshema. So if the yoga was not there in the first place, kshema would not be needed either. So that those two words literally describes the whole sansar. When I learned those two words, I said, oh my God, 2 words and the whole sansar's calamity is located in these 2 words, yoga kshema. So Krishna says, you are caught up in yoga kshema, which you don't have to. Take a deep breath. We rise to the Vishuddha chakra. Deep breath. And relax. The intellect that's within you, if it never rises, then you stay at the lower centers. You never get the taste of Vishuddha Chakra. That is off limits for you. If the intellect remains hidden and died out completely under the burden of all these pleasures, the prison life. The prison is the time and space prison. Take a deep breath. Intellect comes in handy at this point. It allows you to discriminate what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is false. Why am I doing this? Question starts coming up. Only for the lucky ones whose intellect is still alive. Take a deep breath. And relax. Stay focused on Vishuddha Chakra. Vishuddha Chakra makes you realize your regrets of the past, anxieties of the future, attachment to the present. All these things start coming alive right in front of you as a problem. And so somehow the suffering starts seeming real, and you start looking for outlet, but only if the intellect is there. If the intellect has been destroyed, like those objects of pleasure, buddhinasha, when the buddhi is destroyed, then everything else above the Vishuddha Chakra is off limits for you. Take a deep breath. Relax. Fire is up to the Vishuddha Chakra. The Vishuddha Chakra is actually the outer limit of Vijnanmaya Kosh, which rises a lot higher. Then we go to the Agnya Chakra. Take a deep breath. Located between the eyebrows. Take a deep breath. And relax. The fire has risen to the Agnya Chakra. Body is burning. Take a deep breath. And relax. Agnya Chakra is where intuition starts coming in, taking over completely. Now you go beyond the time. You're connecting very densely with the consciousness. Consciousness starts becoming real to you, even though it's empty, even though it's formless. It has real existence. And your body, the Vishuddha Chakra onwards, the Vijnanmaya Kosh, the body starts getting realized, which is beyond your lower chakras. Take a deep breath. And relax. Fire is to the Agnya Chakra. Body is rejuvenated, full of energy, full of vigor. Centers are getting activated. Last one. Take a deep breath. And relax. Unusual clarity comes in you. You become the clarity. You rise to the Sasar chakra, where the traces of even the body is gone. Body was the dreamer and the sansar was the dream. Both are ended. While you are still alive, while you still exist, you become Twij, twice born. That's what the Sanskrit, that's what the Gita says, twice born. First is your physical birth, this is your spiritual birth. You rise above. Now the body is burned. We thank the body for giving us a beautiful experience of the life and a lot of lessons to learn so that we can come out of these cycles of birth and rebirth. Take a deep breath. And relax. There is joy, there is peace, there is tranquility, because that's the nature of the consciousness. It's also alive, because life, real life, is the consciousness. What we call life was death because it ended in death. The consciousness has no form, never dies, is immortal. This is real life, which is immortality. Take a deep breath. And relax. Synchronize with the consciousness. You are the consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi. Now you look at your life, which was before. What happened? You came with desires. You came with desires, vrittis and vasanas. That was the cause. That led to the search for the objects. And then you got into the vicious circle, the fights, discriminations, and racism, and obstructions, and greed, and inferiority complex, superiority complex, anger, deceiving, maya, prapanch, all those things you played, all those tricks to reach to the objects. That polluted your mind. Your mind got conditioned by these objects, which were never real. They were only reflections in your psyche, and yet you thought they were real. Just like Duryodhan was fooled when he went to the Pandavas' palace. He saw water where the floor was there. He thought it was the floor he walked, it was the water. All these illusory appearances of the sansar, which is even scientifically proven, we don't want to accept it. We keep on running. Why? Because we have intense desires hidden within you. These desires, the vasanas, never leave us. The only way to get rid of it is rise higher. So today we discussed the cause of our suffering and what does it lead to. The objects of desire attracts us because of the desires within us, objects of pleasure. This desire leads to these objects, makes our minds crooked. We come up with all these trickeries of the mind. We get absorbed in it, thinking that this is the life, and we end our whole life with the cycles of Yogakshema. Yogakshema is the vicious circle you do not want to get caught in. So the next session, we will discuss about the solution that Krishna bring this to a complex problem that is affecting the whole mankind, and mankind is not even aware of it. So this big, great saints not only makes us realize the problem that we have, they also give us a solution. Otherwise, problem remains a problem. So the next session will spend on the solution offered by Krishna. Have a good day.